Studies have shown that only 20% of Africa is lit and the other isn't. I mean, it begs the question, do those areas really understand what it's like to have power? I've gone to see people who had absolutely no idea what lighting a house looked like at night. And we would install a system that lit up the room, and you could just see how their lives completely changed and how much fun it brought to their lives and how much utility it also brought and how it changed their lives. I think that's the most fun thing about being an electrical engineer that deals in solar. Where we are right now, right close to the equator like we are, there's an abundance of solar. There's an abundance of this just generator of the sun, which is constantly and predictably on and running daily. And so all other sources of power that actually aren't renewable have a really steep cost of running, but unlike solar, which only has a larger capital expense when you're starting the project, it's virtually free after. The biggest challenge was you're going from a place where you have a constant, consistent income to one that isn't. So obviously first you start by doing the natural thing, which is start a business going while you are still employed, and then hope to leave to get to start your own business when you're ready. And this doesn't always work very well. So the biggest challenge at first is being able to understand how businesses work. I think what it takes is certainly being prepared more mentally for what it takes to start a business than it is as far as acquiring a certain amount of years, maybe in the industry or age. But it certainly helps if you have a mentor and you have someone ahead of you that is pointing you to the right direction. You're bound to fail anytime you start something new. However, most of what's important is being able to understand the lesson behind the failure, fixing it, and then quickly getting back, not doing it again. When you get into business for the long term, which is what all businessmen should do, you have a reputation to keep. And it certainly helps when you understand your product well, and you understand your delivery well, and you understand your client well. But one thing that remains constant, no matter what line of business you're in, certainly is trust and integrity. Before you can actually get to discuss a product, you have to make your way to meeting people, and people are relatable. For you to be able to start a conversation with someone, you have to know how to have some emotional intelligence. I mean, there are obviously places where you may end up landing a job that looks just too big for you. And in those cases, you need to be prepared by having partnerships. You're always 6 to 7 people away to getting that very resource or item or need or finance or capital that you need for the goal or objective that you have. So you've got to be able to maintain good relationships. You have to maintain relationships. You have to learn how to build on those relationships. And those are the relationships that will just steer your way into building something even much and much bigger. Because then you'll go through using your networks, which really truly are your net worth.